Thank you so very much. It is my distinct honor to introduce our first business session speaker, the Governor, Commonwealth of Kentucky. Governor Bevin is one of us, a U.S. Army veteran, former captain of artillery, former U.S. paratrooper, HUA, and a tremendous supporter of our National Guard. I am so very proud of my governor, as he without question possesses a warrior's heart. And those of you that saw the Quaker State 400 can attest. Those of you that did not, it was an event that defied description. As the governor carried in the green flag to start the race, suspended some 70 feet below a UH-60 helicopter and snapped into a spy's rig that brought he and I and two of our finest air guardsmen into the center field to begin the proceedings. And I believe we found the clip, have we not? If so, let's roll it. Maybe we haven't found a clip. Well,
sir, I believe whoever took the gavel also took the clip.
You need to borrow the bat? Speak softly and carry a big stick. Well, I will attempt to describe to you what the proceedings unfolded. The spy's rig is a 120-foot static rope under a UH-60 helicopter. And a year before, we repelled into the Quaker State 400, and we had planned to do the spy's entrance because it has a great deal more gravitas. It is a lot more visually impressive, and we just kind of engineered it to that effect. So 4 weeks before the event, we hear from the governor's office, the governor wants to do that with you. I wasn't surprised, because I've known the man here for 2 years. But I told him, yeah, we can do that, that's no problem, we'll hook you in and you'll have a big time. When the governor insisted upon carrying the green flag to start the race, I honestly tried to talk him out of it. Because if it would have been me coming in at 70-knot winds, with a green flag in my hand, I would have dropped it, and it would have been all over the news. Hogan drops a green flag to start the race. So I tried to talk him out of it, and to be honest, he was completely puzzled at my apprehension, insisted upon carrying the green flag to begin the race. So I was the individual right under him on the spy's line. And we're coming in over the grandstand, and I kind of look up to see how he's doing. He's got the green flag in his right hand, and he's waving it like crazy. And with his left hand, he's either giving a thumbs up or possibly even taking a selfie of himself waving the green flag as we came in. And my thought at that point is, this man is fearless. He is not intimidated by anything. I personally have done this thousands of times. I was holding on for dear life. Presumably the first time the governor comes in a spy's rig, green flag, selfie. This fearlessness also implies on how he governs. Governor Bevin believes that the right thing and the smart thing are always the same thing. It makes decisions for this Commonwealth based upon the right and not based upon political expedience. For this and a host of other reasons, I'm so very proud to call him my Commander-in-Chief. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the 62nd Governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, Governor Matt Bevin.
Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you, please. Thank you for being here. I had occasion at the ribbon cutting when we sort of opened the ceremonies to thank those that had gathered, and since even then, many more have come and are assembled here. And I want to just personally thank you for several things, not the least of which is having taken the time to represent your states, to come here to Kentucky. And I'm grateful for the fact that you represent the finest of your respective states as well. America is so blessed by our citizen soldiers. We truly are. Our soldiers, our airmen, those who have time and again stood in the face of that which has, whether it's a storm, whether it's a battle, whatever crisis has arisen, it is those of you in this room and the others that you represent that have stood in the gap. So thank you for taking it upon yourselves to come here today. I'm grateful that you have done it, and I hope that the hospitality that you've received thus far is just the beginning of what you will experience. We've got a lot of things that we're proud of here in Kentucky. You're at the front end of experiencing some of those. I know we've got some events planned for you. Take full advantage of those. We make a particular brown liquid here that some enjoy, and you may have exposure to some of that over the next couple of days. Enjoy that responsibly. But I will say this. I hope that you leave here in a couple days with an even greater appreciation for Kentucky and for the fact that we represent what so many of you represent. Simple values, basic things. You know, this is what America is. I'm a country kid. I grew up in a little town of 250 people in the middle of nowhere. I've been very blessed. The American dream is a real thing, and it's preserved every single day for the kids of today and the kids of tomorrow and those of us who are the kids of yesterday. It's preserved every single day by those of you in this room and others that you represent, and I thank you personally for that, as a beneficiary of that. There was mention made and honor given to those that have passed in recent years, those who have served active duty, but specifically the reference was to those in the National Guard. I recently had occasion to be in the state of Iowa for something. As you know, in your state capital, there is a wall that honors those who have given their lives. Many of them are guardsmen who have, in recent years, paid the ultimate sacrifice. One of them was a dear friend of mine when I was on active duty, who left a wife and 2 daughters. These are the kind of things that for every single person in this room, you're 1 degree of separation away from somebody on a wall somewhere. And I'm grateful to the men and women who have been willing to do that. There's so many people in this room that could be singled out, so many people who could be honored. I do want to draw specific attention to one gentleman, a gentleman who is a Kentuckian, a gentleman known to a number of you who's been the chief of the National Guard Bureau, a man who was the only Kentuckian to ever attain the rank of lieutenant general, but a man named John Cannaday, General Cannaday. If we could just show our appreciation, if you don't mind standing, sir, and if we could honor this man. Very well. There's a lot of things I could say to you, and I don't want to take a tremendous amount of time, but I want to encourage you. You are servant leaders. You wouldn't be here if you were not. But I want to tell you, give you an analogy of something. It's an actual factual thing, and it's perhaps something you've heard or been familiar with. Perhaps it's not. But you think about what the difference is between a leader and a servant leader. What is the difference that makes change that's not just fleeting, but that takes root and transforms things over time? The decisions that you make in your personal lives, the decisions you make with your free time, the decisions you make as both citizens and soldiers, citizen soldiers and airmen, the decisions that you make affect so many people beyond anything that any of us even fully appreciates. The ripple effect is great. And I was thinking about this, and I've shared this story in the past at times when I've spoken to people who are truly people that give. I want to encourage you with this story of 2 bodies of water, and they are 65 miles apart. This is not anecdotal, this is true. 2 bodies of water, similar in size, but remarkably different. They're 65 miles apart, and they're both fed by the exact same source. and yet they're remarkably different. Around one body of water is an abundance of life. There are people fishing, there are people swimming and boating. There's towns that have sprung up around the edges, agriculture that is fed by the resources of this body of water. It's a very vibrant part of this particular country. 65 miles away, there is a separate body of water fed by the very same source that is stagnant, that's dead, that has nothing around it. There's no fish living in that, no people enjoying it. It's not producing prosperity or agricultural growth. There's no communities around its edges that are thriving as a result of it. What's the difference between these two bodies of water? These happen to be in the Middle East. They're fed by the Jordan River. They have names you've perhaps heard of, the Sea of Galilee and the Dead Sea. What's the difference between these two bodies of water? The Sea of Galilee takes water from the Jordan River in, and it gives that water back. The Dead Sea simply takes water in. It gives nothing back. You all represent the finest of America. Those that you lead represent the finest of America, of those who not only have taken in the unbelievable blessings of what it is to be an American, but who have chosen volitionally to give it back. And I applaud you for that. I thank you for that. As an American, I'm grateful to you for that. And I'll tell you, I would encourage you to please reinfuse not only within those that you touch every day, those that you lead in and out of the Guard, but frankly, those that you touch in the civilian sector, to be those who give back. The greatness of America is that it has always been led by men and women who've been willing to step up, have been willing to do something that's not necessarily in their own personal best interest, but it was in the interest of those that they served. To be true servant leaders, to take in and to give back. The greatness of America was built on this. The future of America depends on this. You all stand in the gap between where we are and what a successful, thriving, vibrant future of America looks like. Thank you for your service. Thank you for being here. Thank you for what you are doing literally even now in states that have recently been under assault by Mother Nature and those that are about to be. Some of you have folks that are there serving right now. Some of you will be there yourselves. Thank you for that. It's an honor and a privilege for us to have you here in Kentucky. If there's anything we can do to make your visit a more memorable one, please reach out to those that are here that you've met that are coordinating things. And General Hoyer, thank you for you and all of the rest of you who are doing such a stellar job of representing the finest of America. May God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you. If there's anything NGAUS can do for you,